Welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. And I am your host, Conrad Cushman, and we are here with a review of Ring of Honor's 17th anniversary show. And the show just went off air not too long ago, guys, and man, what a show it was. Lots of action, lots of stuff to get to and talk about in this show. Now, if you're wondering where some of the matches are for this, they were canceled, and it's going to be explained throughout here. But they did some storylines here. I don't know if they were covering up for injuries or whatever, but some of the matches got canceled, and it'll be explained in this for what happened to them and why the matches were canceled. But Ring of Honor, man, this was a sleeper show. I don't think a lot of people were talking about this enough, and this is all leading to their big WrestleMania weekend show, the G1 Supercard. It's looking really good, man. It's right over here, as you guys can see. A lot of people are excited for it. Ring of Honor is going to be in Madison Square Garden. It's a big deal, man. WWE owned that building for quite some time, and now Ring of Honor and New Japan will both be in there, combining together to put on a show. A lot of people's dreams are going to come true for that. But ROH 17th anniversary show. The show starts off with a great opening video package. I thought they did a tremendous job showing off the legacy of Ring of Honor, all of the champions, and how some of the past people mattered. Whether it was a CM Punk, a Homicide, a Bryan Danielson, AJ Styles, whomever it may be. And then they bled into kind of Jay Lethal, and Jay Lethal surpassing Samoa Joe as the longest reigning, in total combined days, of course, Ring of Honor champion. No one will ever have a reign like Samoa Joe did when he had the belt. But Jay Lethal's done a hell of a job as champion, and I think he's been the perfect guy to carry this brand. Josh Burton, what is going on, my friend? I see you here. Good to have you in here. Check out Everything College Basketball. Josh Burton and Peyton and Tyler Cook are the hosts of that podcast. They'll have a new show coming out this Sunday, so make sure you guys check that out. Give you a little plug right there. But we start off the show, opening contest, Kenny King versus the villain, Marty Scurll. And this match started with some back and forth action. The NWA champion, Nick Aldis, was actually on commentary for this match. He actually was for most of the show, which was kind of cool. He gave his perspective on a lot of the matches. Now, don't forget, Marty is challenging Nick Aldis. I believe it's, hold on, I wrote the date down. April 27th, excuse me, at the Crockett Cup. So they'll have a big tag team tournament, and Marty Scurll will challenge Nick Aldis. Great setup for that match. If you guys haven't seen it yet, make sure you check that out on YouTube. Also, we started talking about Marty Scurll is survival of the fittest, and he is the #1 contender as we get ready to go into this show right here, the ROH New Japan G1 Supercard show in Madison Square Garden. So he's getting a Ring of Honor title shot and an NWA title shot. Big things for Marty, man. Anywho, back to this match. A lot of what we've seen from these guys already. They've had about 2 matches with each other already. Kenny King did find a way to pick up a victory over Marty, and he knew he had to cheat to do it, but he had to go against the villain with some of the villain tactics. Understood. Kenny King, in the finish of this match, grabbed a chair, and the referee stopped him and said, "Hey, you can't do that." The ref grabs the chair, and the moment he turned his back on Marty, Marty grabbed his umbrella and nailed him right in the face with the butt end of it. And 1, 2, 3, Marty Scurll wins, man. The villain uses heel tactics to pick up the victory. No surprise there. I gave that match a grade of a B. Still well done. Solid work. I teetered on it being a B minus to a B. I could lean either way on it. So either way, there was a little bit of a mixed reaction for it. It's close, and I have the scale down below in the description box if you guys want to check it out. And all the grades and match listings and everything else will be in there, even the canceled ones. Match number 2, which in my opinion was my match of the night. We had for the ROH TV title, Shane Taylor versus Jeff Cobb. Dude, I didn't know how I was going to feel about this match because I've never seen these two wrestle each other yet. I know Shane Taylor took out Jeff Cobb. That's all I knew. Dude, this was a battle of the big men for the TV title, and it was very interesting. Both of these guys are very athletic for their size. Their size will deceive you. And Jeff Cobb, man, that dude is such a treat to watch. He's one of my favorites currently in Ring of Honor. Even when they have the New Japan shows and Jeff Cobb's over there, excellent work. I loved him in Lucha Underground as the Monster Matanza. And speaking of Lucha Underground, if you guys go to my podcast, which I have links for down in the description, I just did an interview with Marty the Moth. So make sure you guys check that out. Marty the Moth Casals, he was an excellent interview. A lot of people are giving me good feedback on it. Make sure you guys check that out. But back to this match. At one point in this match, Shane Taylor. Now think of Shane Taylor and his size. If you don't know, Google it. Look it up on your phone while I'm talking. Shane Taylor did a Cleveland Destroyer. That is a big man. Dude. Holy crap. He got chance of holy shit after that. And I completely understand. Chance from the Las Vegas crowd. They were going nuts for it. Shane Taylor got up from the first tour of the island. So Jeff Cobb hits him with his finisher. He's down. And Shane Taylor just starts getting up. And he's just like, whoa, what is this? As soon as he gets up, he hits him with another one. Shane Taylor ain't getting up from that. 1, 2, 3. Jeff Cobb retains the Ring of Honor television title. Another solid match, man. I got to give it a B. It was really good. Really good match. Like I said, that may have been... I personally enjoyed that one the most, but it could have been based on the card too, because there's another match on here that's real close to it. Match number 3. We have the Women of Honor title. We have Mayu Iwatani, versus Kelly Klein. Klein put a beating on Iwatani. She showed her dominance early on in the beginning. They were trying to tell this Razor Ramon 1, 2, 3 kid type storyline where Kelly Klein felt she could beat her at any time, and she just got upset before, and now she's going to prove why she's the dominant champ. Well, eventually she hits K-Power. There's a kick out, and Klein ends up losing because Iwatani hits a roll-up out of nowhere. Good finish. I thought this was probably one of the better Women of Honor matches I've seen. I did not know so many people weren't fans of it. Like, I saw people all over Twitter kind of like, this match still doesn't have me interested in the Women of Honor division. So, I would love to hear from you guys and tell me what or who will it take to get you interested in the Women of Honor division. What's the problem? What's missing? I'd love to hear it. So afterwards, the match is done. Kelly Klein gets out of the ring with frustration. She's pissed off that she just lost again. Completely get it. I like the collaboration with the Stardom promotion here. I think it's thumbs up material. Overall grade B- for this card, or for this match, excuse me. Absolutely well done. Very good. We had Lifeblood versus the Kingdom coming up next, right? Nope. That got changed immediately. The ROH World Title match ends up happening next. Matt Taven comes out on the microphone. He's ranting and raving. And now we're about to get the match, which is the main event match right over here. Jay Lethal versus Matt Taven. Now, Matt Taven has been swearing up and down he's the real Ring of Honor's champion, and Jay Lethal's a phony. I want you guys to see this now. This match was a doozy, and I'm going to show you something at the end. So we had a good back and forth for this match that started off, Then we get breaking news early on in the beginning of this match that Jeff Cobb will challenge Will Ospreay at the G1 Supercard ROH television title for Will Ospreay's Never Open Championship. Oh, hell yeah, bro. I was all about that. I would love to see that match. But we get back to the match. We lead to things like Jay Lethal hitting continuous dives out on the floor over and over and over again. He's diving on each side of the ring. I absolutely don't understand it. I love Jay Lethal. I think he's one of the best. I just don't like the dives to the floor constantly. It's very, I don't know, it feels weird being in the match. Whatever. It's his thing, so he knows better than me. So Jay Lethal does his continuous dives to the floor. Lethal ends up playing off a shoulder injury from a clothesline where he flipped over and the shoulder kind of caught the mat. And hopefully he's not hurt too bad from that because that looked nasty. So afterwards, and Taven was playing off an injured knee. So Lethal's shoulder, Taven's knee are the focus points throughout this match. Lethal is now playing off the shoulder injury, Taven's knee. Taven ends up getting Lethal in a crossface, and then he puts him in the rings of Saturn. Lethal gets his foot on the ropes. The Lethal combination as both guys are down trying to recover. Lethal ends up saying, I'm going for the elbow drop. Taven slaps his hand on the mat. So there must be a plan in place. Lethal goes to the outside. He sets up for the, ooh yeah, the Black Machismo elbow drop. And he's going up to the top rope. Then all of a sudden you see red balloons come up from the ground. Who else but the Kingdom show up? The Kingdom is out there. One distracts the ref. Someone hits Jay Lethal with a baseball bat. It all happens so fast. You don't know what's going to happen. Jonathan Gresham comes out and tries to help. What happens to him? He was supposed to be in a match against Silas Young. Jonathan Gresham ends up eating a steel chair to the knee. What is going on, Goober? Ooh, yeah. I see you out there. Gresham ends up eating a brutal chair shot to his knee. And he's down. They set up a table then on the outside as they're getting ready to do more damage. And then here comes Haskins and Williams. They show up. They end up with the chair and bat. They chase these guys off. They're out of there. And they're running to the back. And supposedly they left the arena because they were out. They said, screw this. So they were supposed to have a match, Haskins and Williams versus the Kingdom. So that's the other match on the card that kind of just, poof, disappeared. Gone. So Gresham is down from the chair shot. They take him to the back. They've been chased off. It's Taven in the ring. Taven hits the climax. 1, 2, kick out. This had a lot of people worried. So Jay Lethal kicks out of that. Now the crowd's starting to get back into this match because this is kind of the dead point, cool off zone of the match. Fans are starting to get back into it. After that kick out, Taven hits a frog splash. 1, 2, kick out once again by Jay Lethal. Now, after that, he goes up for another frog splash. Lethal gets his knees up and then cradles him. 1, 2, Taven kicks out. Where am I in all of this? And what I wanted to show you guys was my notes. Their entire match has a whole page of notes. So it gets crazy. And I'll explain to you why it's not fully like reviewed as being so great towards the end here. So afterwards, we have Taven locked in the figure 4 leg lock. Jay Lethal sets him up. He gives the old woo, and he's in the figure 4 leg lock. Taven is in excruciating pain because his knee hurts, as I said earlier. He ends up not quitting. He flips over Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal flips him back over. There was some tremendous wrestling psychology used in parts of this match. Afterwards, Jay Lethal gets up and he eats a suplex through the table that was set up on the outside. The ref doesn't call for a DQ. Whatever, the ref's letting it go. Todd Sinclair does not give a damn, I guess. And then Taven kicks out of a lethal injection. We don't see too many guys do that. So, unbelievable stuff right there. We end up getting another table pulled out by Lethal, and they bridge a ladder onto the table. So the table's right there, ladder's bridged across. They end up getting Taven on. Jay Lethal looks for another Black Machismo elbow drop. He goes up to the top, puts the arms up. Taven moves. Jay Lethal crashes through a ladder. He is down and out. He has to get up before the 20 count. And Jay Lethal is able to do that. He is, or I'm sorry, he doesn't do that, excuse me. Taven ended up rolling outside, putting him back in the ring. So after all that happens, he misses the flying elbow. Taven kicks Lethal over and over and over again and spits in his face. It was disgusting, dude. Oh, just spit right in his face. I thought that was sick. Lethal kicks out. Now, the fans have been in and out of this match. Like, they're down. Like, they're just kind of sitting there like, how much longer is this going to go? And then there's other times where they're on their feet and they're like, this is awesome. This is great. This is cool. So this match kind of has this roller coaster effect. That's why this isn't the, like, main match and the top match on this show. So it's tough. Like I said, I'm telling you all these great things, but there's dip points in this match that I'm kind of not going over either. So once again, Lethal kicks out. Fans have been in and out of it. Frog splash into a cutter. So he goes up for a frog splash. Jay Lethal reverses it into like a cutter. And 1, 2, Taven kicks out. The crowd is going nuts. Jay Lethal then gets pissed and he's screaming like, ah! And he hits 3 super kicks and says, F you, Taven. And lands another one. 1, 2, oh, I'm sorry. He hit a lethal injection after that. 1, 2, Taven kicked out again, dude. This match was nuts. After Taven kicks out, we end up hearing the bell ring. And Todd Sinclair calls it a 60-minute time limit draw. I think the match was longer than 60 minutes, bro. I put a post in the Everything Pro Wrestling Facebook group at that time, and it was at like 57 minutes, and I know that didn't happen till at least 5 minutes later. So that match was going on for quite some time, and I posted it during the match in the very beginning. So 57 minutes later, that match was longer than 60 minutes. At least it felt like it to me. We got to a time limit draw. Afterwards, Taven yells F you to Jay Lethal. Like, you could hear all the cursing audio on this. Marty Scurll shows up, and he takes the Ring of Honor title while both men are down. Lethal holding his shoulder. Taven holding his knee, and Marty just walks out with the belt, and the fans love it. There was a woman when Marty was walking up the ramp saying, he's my champ. So this is leading to some interesting things. Is Matt Taven out of the title picture at this point? I give it a grade of a B, but let me own up to something I have said now. I have said Matt Taven doesn't interest me as a performer, and I don't think this is my match of the night, but this was a damn good match. It made me remember, like, we as fans, what are we complaining about here? We got a good 60-minute match out of this. I think that was Matt Taven's best match in Ring of Honor, easily. So Matt Taven, respect, bro. I apologize for what I said about you. You definitely held it down right there. Hopefully we get to see more performances like this out of you. Then we transition afterwards to MegaRan. He comes out, he performs his Going to the Garden song. He basically gets all the people up for it. The crowd was kind of towards the rap music and him. And then Bully Ray comes out, and Bully Ray is yelling, turn that crap off. Hillbilly is amazing. He talks so much crap about him, pushes him, kicks him out of the ring. And then I started having a little bit of trouble with the stream for a second. And I come back in the middle of Bandido versus ROH. Dalton Castle's now on commentary. And this match, lots of athleticism by both guys. You're going to see some great lucha action. If you've never seen these guys perform in MLW, crazy. Absolutely good stuff by both these guys. You're going to see destroyers, deadlift suplexes, topes, twisting cross bodies, anything you can imagine. These guys are both undefeated wrestlers and going into this match. They're battling it out. And then we all know that Bandido has a junior heavyweight title match coming up at the G1 Supercard match card. And, excuse me, we saw an inside springboard stunner. So imagine, Bandido runs up, jumps up on the bottom rope, jumps to the top rope, and does a 450 on someone who's hanging from the middle rope. Dude, good stuff between these two. Excellent chemistry. Now, after that, Rush ends up getting the win with a move he calls the Bull by the Horns. And basically, he does like the drop kick from the corner. and he blasted Bandido with this. And it was kind of a weak finish, but 1, 2, 3, ROH is the winner of this match. I gave that match a B+. Yeah, that was a decent match. Decent match. Like I said, and some of these I may change in the description box once you guys read them. So, but all these matches are good. There is nothing that's not in the B range, I'm telling you. Silas Young then comes out and, Dalton Castle says he has a big idea, and he challenges ROH at the G1 Supercard show and says he'd like to fight him, and ROH accepts. Now, Silas Young comes out and joins the commentary team on the announce table because his match is canceled and he wants a payday. So, we get to the main event. It's for the ROH tag team titles. It's a no DQ Las Vegas street fight. We have the Briscoes versus Brody, King, and PCO, Villain Enterprises. This isn't a technical masterpiece. This is a fight. These guys are going out there. I saw busted tables being used, chairs, kendo sticks. You know what to expect, guys. Brody King has a broken hand. They just said he had a broken jaw right before this. That's one tough SOB. Give him his props. PCO in the middle of the match asked Brody King to chop his chest. What is wrong with this man? And he goes absolutely crazy. In the match, Jay Briscoe ends up bleeding. He is bleeding terribly. And they isolated the Briscoes. And how do they win the belts? PCO gives a moonsault to Jay Briscoe. And 1, 2, 3. PCO and Brody King are your new Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. And Villain Enterprises has become stronger. I gave this match a grade of a B2. Overall show grade a B. I'm happy that PCO is getting to go through the end of his career. He's going to walk into Madison Square Garden as a tag team champion again. Who would have ever predicted that for this guy? Very happy for him, man. I appreciate anybody who stayed up to join me for this. Very disappointing to see some of the matches canceled off of this show. We'll see what the internet has to say about that. Maybe there'll be some backlash. I did want to see Jonathan Gresham versus Silas Young. We didn't get to see that. Sad, too, that the Kingdom didn't get to wrestle their match. I thought those would have been like great opening matches, but we didn't get it. Goober says PCO is crazy. Hell yeah, he is, but PCO's the man. And Goober, Josh Burton, thank you guys for coming in here and joining me. We didn't have a huge crowd tonight, but it didn't matter. We got a good show out of Ring of Honor, a B show. All the matches were good. All of them were in the B range. I thought it was a solid pay-per-view, worth every penny, in my opinion. So, with that being said, guys, I'm out. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. We are trying to get to that 500 mark. We have 28 days to go. The closer we can get there, the happier I'll be. But the grind is real, and we're going to keep moving on with this. Make sure you subscribe to Everything Pro Wrestling. It's a show by the fans, for the fans. And I'm out. Casey Classic 7, thank you for joining me. Make sure you check out the whole review. I'm out, guys. Peace.